Graham Rawlins with our midweek edition of News Geelong. It was the Polly's Week in Geelong and the Surf Coast as carbon tax and Liberal pre-selection for the federal seat of Corangamite were on the me and you. Being vision impaired and 85 years of age is no barrier to Belmont's Bert Bissot. And from the world of Geelong sport, Mitch Scoop Cleary updates us with the latest, including Geelong Cats senior coach Chris Scott and Jamie Medved from the Geelong Supercats basketball world. While from the weather world, we'll update you on the Geelong and Surf Coast area weather expected over the next 6 days. Blokes Day Out 2012 in its third year as a festival focusing on boys and men's health and well-being, continue to develop culture, shaping of future generations and the passing of wisdom and knowledge. Meryl Friend reports.
We're here at Pt1 Square for the launch of Blokes Day Out. Starts on Friday the 23rd and it's actually a whole week going down to the 5th of April. And it's celebrating men and boys.
It's hard to believe, third year actually. So we start off from fairly humble beginnings and here we are, the start of a big week ahead really. So as you said, third year, and up here celebrating a launch today up here in Pt1 Square. And then there's about 50 activities over the following week and then the usual big festival. So plenty going on. So yeah, it's hard to believe it just has grown so much.
It's a fresh morning here in North Lane and we're all out up and about. Good to see a lot of blokes, not just old fellas, young fellas, but the whole range is fantastic and it's going to be a start of a really big week.
So what sort of things are people likely to see?
I think what people are going to see is actually, I think what they're going to come from themselves is some personal reflection and opportunities to talk to each other. Blokes don't typically want to talk about their own sorts of issues that they may well have, and if anything, Blokes Day Out and the week that's actually planned is that they're going to see a lot of events. They're going to get a lot of thought-provoking talkers. It's going to be fantastic.
Here in Pt1 Square in North Lane, it's the first time this event's been held in the north of Geelong, which is a great initiative. Big turnout on what was a pretty chilly morning, but as you say, it's turning into a nice day. And this will be the launch of a week's-long activities surrounding the Blokes Day Out, which is encouragement for blokes to actually, mainly look at their health. It's a subject that most blokes aren't real comfortable talking about, so this is to try and encourage them to look after themselves for their own sake, but also for their family's sake.
Not just for blokes, it's Inclusion Week as well. Let's not forget that one, but absolutely today's the launch, I guess, of Blokes Day Out, and just talking about, I guess, blokes' health issues, get to the doctor, all those sorts of things. How blokes can support blokes, I guess. Yeah.
The City of Greater Geelong have put on an amazing program for the week.
We have, and it's not just the city, we have to thank Barwon Health as well. Barwon Health are right in there. City really supports Barwon Health in all their initiatives. This is a fantastic initiative. As you can see, plenty of people are supporting this initiative today.
For the Blokes Day Out, Meryl Friend at Pt1 Square for News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. Before setting off on his poly pedal from Geelong to Canberra, Federal Opposition leader Tony Abbott visited G-boards at Torquay to turn his hand to understanding the manufacturing of 17 different high-density surfboards and panel boards at Torquay. Ian Nichols has more.
The opposition leader Tony Abbott has made a surprise visit to Torquay to visit this factory, G-boards, who produce surfboards, of course, for not only Australia, but a big export market as well. He came down here today to perhaps emphasise the fact that the carbon tax, like all other taxes, is going to affect this business heavily. And we got an opportunity not only to speak with Tony Abbott, but with Michael Ronaldson, the patron senator for Corangamite as well.
I want to thank Paul Garrett and his staff here at G-boards for making Rono and me so welcome. This is a great local business and it's a great example of how Australian innovation, Australian ingenuity means that our manufacturing can compete, provided government doesn't make their life any more difficult. Obviously, the carbon tax is going to make the life of every manufacturer in Australia far more difficult because the carbon tax hits power and it hits transport, and there is no business, there is particularly no manufacturing business in our country that is not a heavy user of power and transport.
We're here at G-boards today. There is no region in this country which will feel the impact of a carbon tax more than the Geelong region. And if the Prime Minister do anything for manufacturing in this country, she will drop this toxic carbon tax. This was a lie 2 days out from the last election, given to the people of Corangamite and Corio that there'd be no carbon tax under a government I lead, said the Prime Minister. Well, she's broken that promise, and Geelong will feel the impact of this, not just G-boards, not just the car sector, but the aluminium sector and right across a variety of Geelong industries. And if the Prime Minister is serious about protecting manufacturing, she will drop this toxic tax.
Given that Corangamite is a vital seat to the government and the fact that it is a marginal seat, are we likely to see you campaigning again in the next 12 months or so in this region?
Well, it's interesting you should ask that question. I'm here at G-boards today, and I look forward to getting to know this beautiful part of the Surf Coast a bit better.
Confident of turning it around so that you will actually be confident winning the seat next time?
Look, we don't take anything for granted, but obviously I've been in Corangamite several times since the last election. I think this is my 5th visit to Corangamite since the last election. I'll be here again. Sarah Henderson did a terrific job in the last campaign. I know she's running again for Liberal pre-selection. That's in the hands of the party organisation, but the fact that Sarah is running again demonstrates that one way or another we will have a fine candidate here in Corangamite and we'll give it a very good shake. But you know, Corangamite is part of Australia too.
Andrew Robb said that this super increase will knock the stuffing out of a lot of businesses and people out there. Will you repeal it if the legislation gets up and you get into government?
Well, we strongly oppose the superannuation increase. We have always, as a coalition, been against compulsory superannuation increases. But once we're there, once they're bedded down, we have invariably decided that it's not something that can be undone. So we absolutely accept that this is going to be a big hit on small business in particular. This is a $20 billion a year hit on business. Labor has been misleading the Australian people for the best part of a couple of years now, saying that the mining tax will pay for the superannuation increase. Wrong. The mining tax does not pay for the superannuation increase. Business pays for the superannuation increase, and at a very difficult time in our economy, this is going to be a very difficult burden for business, particularly small business.
At the G-boards factory in Torquay, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
As we go to a break on this midweek edition of News Geelong, don't forget you can Twitter us on our Twitter account at NewsGeelong31 with your thoughts and comments. We'll return with more news after this.